Hello everyone and welcome to another review from B. Jules Book Reviews. My name is Tammy Shields and I have two great books. And these books that I'm actually going to be reviewing today is all about the fall. That's right, all my spring and summer lovers. It is our turn now. It is time for the pumpkin spice sweater weather girls to represent, and that is me. I love everything about the fall. I love all of the reds, the orange, the greens, the yellows, the browns. It's in our nature everywhere we go. It is beautiful in our clothing that we're wearing. It's out in nature. I just love the fall. It is my season. So sorry guys, but it is our turn now. Now the books that I'm actually going to be reviewing is by Lois Ehlert. She's actually done a ton of books, and she's a great illustrator as well as author. The two books are Red Leaf, Yellow Leaf. I have right here. And the other book is a new one I just discovered called The Leaf Man. The Leaf Man is another cool book. And wherever the wind blows, that's where the Leaf Man goes. So I'm going to tell you all about these books. The first one in Red Leaf, Yellow Leaf, this book really does focus on the transition of seasons. So it teaches children two things. It teaches children that in nature, things change, they transition. Things may go away and then they also come back. And they can start off, it's going to start off with focusing on the fall. Then it goes to what happens to the branches in the winter time when the fall leaves actually fall to the ground and it's bare. And then what happens in the spring, and then what happens in the summer. So I love that because it shows them that we wear different clothing for different times of the year. So I have a couple cool activities that can help reinforce that learning and that knowledge that's going to go along with that book. So she's talking about her sugar maple leaf tree in this book, and it offers a ton of learning. It's already embedded learning inside of the book that you can utilize as well. So I'm going to read a few passages from the book, and then I'll start talking about the book, The Leaf Man. Okay, the first page. Here's the first page. It states, I've been saving this little leaf from my sugar maple tree so I can show you I love my tree. And here's the little leaf that she was speaking of. That's right there. That leaf is from a sugar maple tree. Then it goes on to say, it was born long before I was. The wind blew seeds from the big maple trees in the woods. They twirled and they whirled and they fell to the ground. I really love this because it's descriptive language. So you, as the person reading the book, it gives you a visualization of what's happening with the leaves as well as the children that is listening to the story. So I love that a lot. Then it goes on to show some familiar animals here, or a familiar animal, our squirrel. It says seeds that the squirrels didn't find lay sleeping among the leaves until they were covered with snow. So it shows that. And then this last passage I'm going to read says, when spring sun warmed and when spring sun warms, the seeds, they sprouted and sent roots down into the soil. Tiny leaves unfolded on their stems. And you can actually see it's more of that descriptive language, and it shows what happens when the branches begin to start to bloom again with leaves in the spring. So I really love the vibrant colors in this book. And what I also love about this book is in the back, as I was stating, it does give you some embedded, lessons. It does talk about the parts of the leaf and the branch and everything else. It talks about the leaves. It talks about the buds. And I'll show a picture of it first. So it talks about leaves, buds, the roots, and sap. It talks about seeds, bark, and tree flowers. And then it also goes on to, in the very back of the book, talk to you about how to plant a tree. So if that's something that you decide to do with your little ones, that's something that you can do. Of course, you have to do it at the right time of year, but that's something that you can also do. So that's that embedded learning and knowledge that the children can gain that's already in the book. I will have a few activities for you to do to follow along with this book that enhances learning, more extended learning, but it's already some right in the book. And as teachers, this is what we should be looking for. Books that offers us, additional content. Now let's get to the Leaf Man. I really like this book a lot. There he is. There's our Leaf Man right there, just hanging out. Wherever the wind blows, that's where the Leaf Man goes. So I'm going to read a couple pages from this book also. It says, Leaf Man used to live near me in a pile of leaves. So as you can see, beautiful, vibrant fall colors. All my spring and summer lovers, how could you not love this beautifulness, right? I know that's probably not even a word, but that's what I would like to say. But yesterday, the wind blew Leaf Man away. He left no travel plans. I really like that. It's pretty clever. He left no travel plans. Okay. Let's see what happens next. He's just blowing along in the wind. And then I want to point out something really cool. So on this last passage that I'll read, it says, towards the marsh and over the ducks and geese, a leaf man's gotta go where the wind blows. Now, one of the things I want to point out is that when a leaf man is blowing away in the wind, and as you can see, this is a very big book. It's like bigger than my head. And my head is big, so that's saying a lot. But wherever the leaf man goes, he forms shapes of animals. So as you can see, he's already formed a shape of ducks. So it's amazing. The children get to guess what the leaf man is, what he is on each page. So this is a great way to engage them as you go through. And as you can see, as I'll go back, it's like a mountain view. Beautiful pages. And they're not just square pages, as you can see here. They're like scallop pages and different shapes and things of that nature. So I really, really appreciate everything that went into this book. All of the thought, all of the beauty of fall, of course, and just pretty much all of the things that the leaf man ends up forming, all of the animals and various different things that children are familiar with. So I do want to read something in the back of the book. I think it's a great thing for me to read. I really love the way that the author personalized this book. And one of the things in both books I forgot to mention, and I'll show it here, is that the leaves in both books actually have the names of the leaves and the tree that the leaf actually fell from. So that is something that I think is really cool too. So if your children are seeing leaves and finding leaves, you can actually look them up right in the book and they can identify them that way. But let's go to some of the author's notes. Author's notes read, whenever I see a beautiful leaf, I have to pick it up. I can't help myself. It's something I have done all my life. I used to press leaves in my phone book, only to find them later dull, dry, and crumbling. That goes along with that descriptive language again. I love that. We all have those stories, right? When I was a kid, I used to press leaves, I believe, in wax paper. I also used to do leaf rubbings. I love the way she put that personal spin on it, because as teachers, that's what we need to do. We need to help make those connections. When we talk to children about things, we can say, I used to have a truck just like this when I was little, or I used to go to these places with my mommy and my daddy. They're good story starters also. And it gets them talking. It builds their language and literacy. It builds their social emotional. They hear their friends talking. This is something that I did with my students all the time when I was a teacher. So that is something I would suggest doing. Again, I recommend both of these books by Lois Ehlert. They're great books for the fall. I look at the fall as September, October, November time. You still see the colors of fall before everything starts to fall completely and the trees are bare, it's still time to, read these books to the children, teach them about the transition of season, teach them about nature a little bit. And definitely something that I really would recommend for any library, whether it's your personal library at home or your school library with your children in your classroom. So again, those books are Red Leaf, Yellow Leaf. And the other one is, of course, our Leaf Man. Our little Leaf Man right here that gets into all kinds of things based on where the wind blows him. Okay, so those are the two books. That's pretty much all that I have for this review. I do want to hear from you as always. So let me know what, activities you do with your little ones or books that you love to read in the fall. And also let me know what your favorite season is. We already know what mine is, right? So I would love to hear from you. Please hit like and subscribe. And as always, keep reading. I'll see you again next time.